Alright, so I'm back. It's been a while. First off, I'd like to apologize to anyone who bothered to watch any of my previous 6 videos for the awful sound quality. I recorded all 6 of them in a single session and was completely unaware of just how alarmingly loud this game is. I've turned down the settings to near 0 and it's still pretty loud, but we'll see how this video comes out. Also, I'm going to stop trying to use a headset to record with, and I picked up an actual mic. So, I did do a lot of playing off camera, and have found out a few different things. One, I've gotten a little more comfortable doing builds in this game. So they have the concept of builds. You have your skill points that you spend in the tree, but I was looking at decks, which is what they call like the when you put together a bunch of different skills into a synergizing set. But they have a bunch of predefined ones that you can use in the game that'll tell you where to spend your points and what kind of synergy you'll get from them and what kind of builds there, whether they're tank or DPS. So there's starter builds, which are easier to get early in the game, and then elite ones, which are very hard to get, and the mid-range, which appear to be, well, except for this one, appear to be faction-specific of what the gear will look like, but I think each faction has roughly the same decks available. So in my time, I got a booster pack to get a little extra skill points. And I unlocked all the different starter decks, and I experimented with all the different starters to get a feel for what play style I like. So the upside to that, though, is that I got to discover, well, I also got to unlock, for each deck I unlocked, I got a uniform. So I've got all these different uniforms I can wear if I so choose. I like this uniform, so I've been wearing this a lot. I also, by experimenting with all the different skill trees, I've unlocked all the base level of all the different skill trees and some of the advance of rifle and fist. And also, what I am working towards is now the Necromancer build, which is a almost straight heal build using blood magic and the rifle. So, in the meantime, though, what I found for solo play, even though I don't think this is very good for dungeons, is I'm doing a rifle sword build. Sword is a tank weapon. It does AoE damage. It builds hate. So I wouldn't want to do this in a group unless I was the tank, which I'm not built for. So this is a mixture of a healer tank. So I'm kind of a party of one. From the sword, I get a AoE attack, an AoE stun that also puts a dot, and then an AoE attack that will do more damage if it's got the dot. And sword also gives me the ability to dodge. And from the rifle, I'm taking just 2 major healing shots that do damage and also heal me, and a buff that doubles or creates more damage and healing. And then my passives are all heal based. I get heals when I dodge. I get heals whenever I hit. Just all sorts of different passives for healing, and heals that boost my leeching shot. So I found, like, right now, at this point, it's not the fastest killing build. Oh, I kind of like that. That's a uniform you can unlock in the store. I'm actually debating getting. But, so it's not the fastest killing, but I've been pretty much unstoppable since I went this route so far in solo play. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to adjust it at some point. I am thinking of moving towards more of a rifle pistol. Pistol definitely's got more burst damage, and I don't really think I need the evasion so much that I'm getting from the sword. I kind of just like the sword because it's a little bit of a change up from just having one gun. Moving to just two guns doesn't seem like it'd be quite as fun. So also the play, I really found the fighting in this game to be lackluster until I started to get the second tier open, to be honest, and until you start to get a lot more options. Now with my cooldowns and everything else, it's a little more fun. In the beginning, it was definitely very slow and kind of boring. Another issue I've had with the game is I have a pretty beefy machine, and this game's a couple years old, but I've just turned down the graphics to get my frame rate better. If I try to run at full ultra settings, I get very bad frame lag. So I'm not sure what I can do to optimize this. I'm using DirectX 11. I'm going to look into it more, but right now I'll still get some frame rate issues even with this being set down to medium. But yeah, I just think the game's not that well optimized. So that's what I've been doing. I'm also now in the second zone. It's the Savage Coast. It's a continuation of the story from the first zone, and I believe the story will conclude in the Blue Mountains, which is yet a third zone. What I've discovered in this time, though, is all story types are repeatable. So I was doing them without recording them. I did not realize that the ones with the little film icon here, really the main story, are not repeatable. So I did miss some of the progression, and what I missed was I tracked down the ship that came into the harbor about a week before the fog arrived. I looked at the medical records of the crew as they went insane, and tracked down the crew to find two of them dead and a third mutating in the sewers, who then told me, though he had enough of his mind left to tell me, that they had come across the fog out at sea and found an ancient artifact that let them escape the fog. But he now realizes that it was actually a trap, and he was leading the fog back. It was this artifact he didn't really know anything of, but he just said that a siren's call led him to it. And I followed that same siren's call to find my way to the artifact and the holder of it, which was a wizard, Beaumont, who was going to use the artifact to end the world, along with some other artifacts that he was still after. I didn't find out what they were, and I started to track him, and I tracked him to this zone, and I tracked him to an old Illuminati library, and tried to find what he was going after. I ended up having a confrontation with him, where he killed me and got away. But also in this time he explained that it was Gaia that's given all of us our powers, and they've kind of worked in pretty nicely that with these powers you're almost immortal, and he would have to destroy every molecule of me to make sure that I would not just be resurrected. So I thought it was kind of nice, because the dying and coming back has always ruined the immersion of these types of games for me. So I thought that was a nice way to work that in, that our power and our blessing is what's causing us to come back each time, and that we can be killed if we were completely eradicated, but otherwise we'll always just come back. So that is what I've done. I'm pretty sure now I've completed the full storyline in this zone. It wasn't many pieces. It was just tracking him to this library and getting defeated by him. And now I'm going to find someone in the Blue Mountains, which is the next zone, to follow the lead. I am not ready to do that. I haven't gotten the quest done in this zone. I haven't gotten good enough gear to go to the next zone. But that is the story I've missed. I'll make sure to record any more story that comes along. And that's it. I'm I'm going to adventure in this zone now, and capture them all on tape, and hopefully the sound is much better now. This is my first test video. I'm going to check the sound now and then get on with the play. Later.